The bold and the beautiful. Ridge, Brooke, and Taylor circle the romantic drain again. History is repeating and repeating and repeating itself on the bold and the beautiful. Nearly 25 years ago, there was a scene where Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, was demanding that Ridge Forrester, then Ron Moss, choose between her and Taylor Hayes, then Hunter Tylo, on the spot. His initial response was to look like a jovial deer caught in headlights, unsure of what to say, but also loving the rush of the situation. Fast forward to now, and a similar situation is playing out between Brooke, Ridge, Thorsten Kaye, and Taylor, Rebecca Budig. But it is even more ridiculous now, and not just because both of these women are smart and beautiful. Brooke insists that Ridge is her destiny. After their most recent reunion a few years ago, Ridge and Brooke swore to each other that this was it, for life. They had been through enough, with each other and with other loves, and now understood that they were meant to stay together. Brooke declared Ridge her destiny, and for quite a while it was semi-believable. Since Ridge's zipper has usually been the problem, maybe he finally matured and saw the treasure of a woman in front of him. Maybe. That hope was short-lived because the moment that the couple had a real problem, he did what he always does. He found comfort almost immediately in bed with Taylor rather than working through things at home. Ridge cannot stand to be alone, and he usually tries to justify his indiscretions to Brooke and blame her for them. This time around has been far worse than all the others, because Ridge has completely decimated Brooke's daughter, Hope Logan, Annika Noel. In real life, there would be no coming back from the things that he has said. No matter what Hope has done, you just don't resort to calling your stepdaughter names and expect Brooke to stick around. That should have been a deal-breaker right there, because the man that is your destiny wouldn't stoop that low, would he? Taylor is trading in broken heart syndrome for a real broken heart. Taylor is supposed to be a world-renowned shrink who can outthink all of us, but boy, does she have a real blind spot for the father of her children. Ridge has reconciled with her, only to run right back to Brooke, so many times that it contributed to her broken heart syndrome. He felt guilty enough for the pain that he had caused her that he actually was invested in helping her to physically heal. Girlfriend was the beacon for female empowerment and life, without a man for a solid 3 weeks before Ridge crashed into her life, as usual. The smart doc knew exactly what happened with Brooke, as well as knowing how this triangle always ends with her losing out. And after lending Ridge an ear, a shoulder, and everything else, she somehow thought that this time would be different. Apparently Taylor didn't read the psych book that teaches that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, and expecting a different result. Taylor's response to the selfish man who came back to her, promising a future that he likely knew he wasn't going to keep, should have been a hard pass. Instead, she decided to play house and has convinced herself that this time things are going to end differently. The reality is that Taylor is likely to end up with a real broken heart again. Ridge gets to choose. Is Ridge the only man in Los Angeles, or are we just supposed to believe that he is top tier and worth fighting over, despite his behavior? Either way, here we are with Brooke demanding that he pick one of them to spend forever with. Ridge is acting like a selfish child, and maybe that is exactly why Brooke uses her indoor voice with him. It's like listening to a mother try to reason with her 5-year-old who has just done something wrong. If that is Brooke's version of the love of her life, her destiny, then maybe they deserve each other. Maybe it's time for Taylor to move her brown wardrobe and clunky shoes off of the Forrester estate for good.